All right, so I got a request for a tutorial on my cover of Missing Limbs. This gentleman right here asked so nicely. So I'm going to show you how to play it today to the best of my ability and the way that I like to play it. I don't know if it's 100% accurate to how Vessel plays it, but it is the closest that I can get it without knowing exactly how he plays it. So this song is fairly intermediate. I won't say that it's difficult. It's not super hard, but it will take some time and a good amount of practice to get down if you plan to sing it and play it, just because it is very knacky to change up a traditional type of finger picking to the way that Vessel likes to do it. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this whole song, pretty much, apart from one part in the chorus, is based around this chord shape right here. So first to start, you will start with capo on the 4th fret, and that will be playing all around this chord, which is going to be pinky on the 4th fret of the 1st string, the 2nd string open, and then your ring finger will be on the 4th fret of the G string, or the 3rd string, and then you will have your index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then your middle finger on the 4th fret of the A string or the 5th string to have this pretty chord right here. So the picking for this song is a variation of, I want to say it's like a variation of Travis picking. Travis picking would be your typical alternating bass note kind of, but this one is different. This one, you're going to be doing this pattern right here. So that's the whole little intro, and that just repeats again until the verse comes along. So what I'm doing is I'm doing thumb, then index, then thumb on the alternating bass note here, and then the 2 high B and E strings on that 4th go around. So it would be thumb, index, thumb, high 2. So slow it would look like. So you kind of have to alternate back and forth, kind of like you want to hit that bass note twice on the 2nd time around. So it goes like this. So you'll notice that I changed it up a little bit there. So you will do the alternating to start on the first portion of that chord, which is the. Then when you what you're doing there is all this chord is changing is going to be changing this to this note right here. Just removing your middle finger. That's that whole intro. So it would be. Now what you're going to do next that is a little different is you're going to keep striking the low A note like this for this second portion of the intro. And you'll be playing this little melody which goes right here. So what I'm doing there is essentially I'm just playing that bass note over and over, but I'm gonna go, I'll just do this little intro. Right here what I do is I go thumb, and then the pinky goes to the 4th fret of the B string, and then open again, while alternating with that bass note. So, and then you're gonna do 2nd fret on that same string, and that's your whole intro. So the intro all together slow sounds like. That's gonna be your whole intro. The way I like to finish it off before you start singing is I just strum the open notes at the end, or pick them rather, like this. So when I do that intro, and all I do is just remove my pinky and play those 2 open strings. That's pretty much the whole intro. As long as you can get that down, that picking that I showed you earlier like this. Next comes the verses, and I say verses because this does not change. It is going to be that same chord that I told you is going to be pretty much throughout the whole song. But you don't have to worry about doing, at least the way that I play, you don't have to worry about doing the melody anymore. So all you're going to be doing is just playing the chord and switching from that high to the low. So keeping that picking in mind, like I showed you earlier, this would be the verse. It would be... And if you sing along with it, you'll notice like where the words will sit. So it would be, just to let me know if nowadays the outer rounds of heaven don't keep upon the charm offensive anymore, failing to remind you what you're living for. Pretty much everything that I showed you in the intro, but instead of having to do the melody again, you're just doing those same two chords back to back as you're playing. That's going to be everything for the verses. You're going to end it the same way that I showed you earlier, which is the... At least that's the way I do it. The last thing I could show you is just going to be the chorus. The chorus takes that same shape, but instead of using this low note, what you're going to do is keep these three fingers exactly the same, but you're going to switch to the low E string on the 4th fret, and you're going to do this pattern. Once again, it's the same picking as earlier, just going to be this change up. So you're going to go from this chord shape to the one with the open 5th string, to then the chord from earlier with the 4th fret, sorry. Now this is where it changes. What you're going to do is you're going to make like a makeshift B chord. You're going to bar these top 2 strings right here, and you're going to put these 2 right here on the 4th fret and leave the high E open, so you have that nice dissonant sound to end the verse. So basically on the picking hand, I'll show you, that would be like this to start. And then this is where the B comes in, and you do this. And that's it. That's pretty much the whole song. That whole little bit just goes, and it still makes my blood run cold to remember what they did before, the stories that you never told to me. So that's pretty much it for everything involving Missing Limbs. Like I said, it's all centered around this chord and variations on the bass note with it, and that B from earlier. Like I said, I think the hardest part is just going to be getting used to that picking. I know it was for me because I'm very used to other pickings, but if you can get that motion down and repetitive, you'll have this song in no time. Don't get discouraged. Just keep playing, keep practicing, and you'll get it eventually. Thanks for watching.